People have been fattening ducks for dinner since the times of the ancient pharaohs of Egypt. This art, because it really is an art, was passed down to the Romans, who then passed it down to the Gauls, and it's with us today, with the French. And nowhere is this art practiced more diligently and to the best effect than in the region of Gascony. It was on this account that Ruud, a native of Holland, would visit his Dutch friends Jean-Paul and Yvonne in Gascony. He made it an annual pilgrimage to get ducks. It was some time later that Ruud's brother-in-law, Peter, joined in. These gentlemen could, in one weekend, fill their cupboards full of delicious canned duck that could last years. Thus began the Conference of the Ducks. I only found out about it one evening in a pub with Peter. He had been living in Houston for a time, and after our wives became friends and introduced us, we became friends as well. I was describing to him an outdoor grilling event that I had been to, but Peter was not impressed. He said that there was no better event than the Conference of the Ducks. A weekend of confit magret, legs fried in fat, hearts wrapped in bacon roasted over an open fire, rillettes, pâté, foie gras with truffles, floc de Gascon, Armagnac, and whiskey. I pictured myself dizzy at the center of a duck extravaganza.
The knife. It's just fucking unbelievable. It's really good.
It's good, yeah, it's good.
Let's see the knife.
Look how greasy it is also, eh? It's really... het heeft zijn doop gehad.
It wasn't until a couple of years later that I heard him speak about it again. Peter and his wife had moved back home to Leiden, and my wife and I were there visiting. Michael, a friend of ours from Houston, who had recently moved to Amsterdam, joined us for dinner. Peter went on. Afterwards, we caught up with Ruud in a pub. He confirmed with grave seriousness the high significance Peter had attached to the conference. He was gazing into the foam of his beer. He then looked up and said the magic words to Michael and I. "You both should come," he said. A few short months later, Peter, Ruud, and Michael drove down in a big van from the Netherlands, picked me up along the way in France, and we attended the Conference of the Ducks.
We're melting the grease, the fat, and then we take out the dirt.
Oh.
And after that we do tomorrow we do the meat in it, the confit.
The breast and leg quarters are removed and trimmed, and the fat is set aside to be rendered.
We're just going to put the magret in there. Look at that. A pile of magret and legs. These have been for 24 hours in salt to get some of the...
Well, this has just it's just some of them.
Yeah.
We have a lot more to go here.
Yeah. So what do we do with this stuff? Ruud?
Ja, dat moet gewoon weg, maar ik zocht al een vuilniszak.
Nou, ligt hier nog een vuilniszak. In die zwarte ton.
Maar dat kunnen we straks zetten.
Daar kan die gewoon bij. Maar dat gooi je dus weg. Die draaien we hier. Was this what we used for the 3 tons?
Daar draaien we die
I'm kind of glad that we skipped that part. So there is still a food product you can make out of this.
Oh, what is that?
It's called friton. So we have a machine here that you can throw it in, and then what comes out is sort of really pulp. And it is. It actually doesn't get much better if you then put it in a pot and let it stand for a year. You can buy that and eat that. Some people swear by it, but I'm glad that we're just throwing it away. Friton. There is also some beer brewing going on outside.
Yes, yes.
It's all that artisanal stuff.
So you're scraping the salt off.
Yeah, and we've had one year when we did this too rushed, and the salt came into the fat and it really spoiled the whole thing. So we definitely want to do this right.
Now we put everything. Hoe zeg je dat? Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Everything in the grease, in the fat. And the fat is now 65 degrees. And now we go we make it hotter till 85. And then we try to keep it on 85. And then it must be a few hours boiling in 85 degrees. Particularly not higher. When it is hot, you do the grease.
No, that's very low. That's very low.
It is going.
Yeah.
It is a sort of slow cooking.
Yeah.
We do a half a duck in a pot. I take that, I cut that off. Maybe it's too high for the pot.
Yeah, you wanted it.
Cannot do that in the. This is a half a duck. We put it so in the pot. It must be low enough that it is not stick to the.
So it's in the fat.
And after that, Peter is doing fat in it.
What's happening on this table?
The stomachs are canned as well. They've been left here.
What is the French word for stomach?
Estomac. Estomac, maar nu is het gésier geworden.
Zo, dat is de pot.
Deze zit er helemaal niet goed in, Ruud.
Dan moet je even proppen.
Kijk, wat.
De gésier.
Dan zakt het water, bedoel je?
Dan zakt het water. En dan kan ik het water even uitscheppen. Het kan ergens in, want we gebruiken het dan en dat duurt dan even zo lang. Zo, nou dat zit in de...
Ja, we boiled them about a half an hour.
Deze bak wel
For half an hour. Yeah?
An half an hour, yes.
Yeah.
To boil them for the pressure that's coming the air out. To conservate.
To conserve in the cans. There we go.
Yeah.
There it is. That's a very important part.
That's the important part to keep them
From rotting. You want to have indeed the air out. It needs to be vacuum above it.
And now you can keep it for many years.
Many years?
Yeah.
You're going to put the 2019 on it?
Yeah, you put that 2019 on it, and with 10 years you can eat.
Look at that. It's a vintage duck.
Nog een 20 eindiging, niet veel.
Volgens mij hebben
All the meat is removed from the carcass and the bones to be cooked in fat and canned. It becomes a delicious spread called rillette.
Maury?
JP does not approve.
Huh?
You're finding extra meat there.
Yeah, I'm eating. It's nice. There's always something to eat. For someone.
Always something to eat. Look at that. That's duck meat that we got off the carcasses. The Dutch sure do love their herring.